You out there, and thanks for joining us on today's edition of the program. Today is Monday, the 25th of August 2025, and it is the start of a new week, the broadcast of a new edition, bringing you new insight on what is making news around the world. You are live on Pan African Media TV. I am Frida Egbesin, and the program on air is Wordl In Print. Wordl In Print is your bi-weekly program where we scout newspaper headlines around the globe, come back to dive into an analysis part with a specific guest, and of course, we shall be doing that just after the transition. So stay put, don't go away, for the up next is going to be our newspaper roundup.
Pan African Media, pour une Afrique souveraine et unie.
Welcome back, beautiful people. If you are just tuning in, you are live on Pan African Media TV, and the program on air is Wordl In Print with me, Frida Egbesin. I was saying that today is Monday, the 25th of August, 2025. It is the start of a new week, the broadcast of a new edition, and of course, bringing you new insight of what is making news around the globe. I'm not alone in the house today. I will be joined on set by somebody who is not new with us here, who is no one else but Tashe Fonka Samuel, who is a peace crusader and of course the general president of ICC. But before we go to that, up next is going to be our weekly newspaper roundup, starting from the Republic of Nigeria with news. This day newspaper carrying as major caption: PDP government to party faithfuls, resist attention by anti-party forces to derail convention. Parties members of the PDP are pleading with our party militants not to pay attention to detractors who are, of course, people of the opposite political parties who are trying to sow some discord ahead of the upcoming convention. From that, we move over to the Punch newspaper this morning, still in the Republic of Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I beg your pardon. The Punch is carrying as caption this morning: sick and stranded president order fails to curb soaring drug prices. It's still in the Republic of Nigeria, where the Punch newspaper is telling us this morning that the president's orders is sick and stranded because it has failed to curb the surging prices of drugs in that country. From Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, we move over to the United Kingdom with the Guardian newspaper carrying this morning as caption. The Guardian this morning is headline revealed 83% of Gaza deaths are civilians. Israel data suggests as attacks on carried out without concern on the individuals. The paper is telling us this morning that 83% of deaths recorded in Gaza are civilians who died in exchanges between the combatants and the civilians, because when attacks are being carried on, consideration is not given to civilians. So away from that, to move over to the Independent newspaper still in the United Kingdom of America. The Independent newspaper this morning is telling us as migrants UK how the numbers really add up. They are saying now this morning that the number of immigration, that is migrants in the United Kingdom, is on the rising side. From there, we move over to Financial Times. It's talking still on the same story. Financial Times has rated a bit, carrying as caption this morning. They say equity firms offer a cascade of discounts in scandal to raise money due to profitability crisis. You have here battle to sell aging assets. You have new players overcrowding the market, that is new businessmen enter the market, and of course tariffs hit deal making. From here, we move over to Yorkshire. We are still in the United Kingdom of America. Yorkshire newspaper this one is carrying as headline: asylum appeals must be speed up. Minister in vows to hasten process as tension mounts. This is another newspaper that is telling us that the number of asylum in the United Kingdom, asylum seekers, is on the rise, and of course there is going to be tension because people are complaining. So the minister has vowed to speed up the process of asylum, to know who will be granted asylum and who won't be granted asylum in that part of the world. We move now to the newspaper carrying as caption, still talking about asylum in the United Kingdom, that says Stammers face gravity unrest over record asylum claims. Still, they are still talking asylum, which means this is something that is giving people in the United Kingdom headache. But we want to believe that as time goes on, these numbers that have been on the rise in the last 1 year are going to be addressed too. We shall get into details of that just after. Next, we are moving to the United States of America with the Miami Herald. Miami Herald this morning is carrying as caption, U.S. deployment of warships to Caribbean reminds rekindle memory of Panorama invasion. It is said here that the United States of America has deployed warships to Caribbean, and this has brought memory of an event that had passed in that part of the world, while the Washington Post carries this morning, amidst the trauma of war, learning to be children. Again, you can see the images of children who are faced in war situations, despite the fact that things have not been all right. They haven't had the right to grow as normal children. They are still struggling to learn how to live as children. Those are some of the consequences of war in a given environment or area. Now we go to U.S. Today, carrying as caption this morning, no guns for those on drugs. Yes, U.S. Today is telling us that no guns for those on drugs. DOJ says administration on support limit to Second Amendment. Here in the United States of America, it's an amendment that is being made. Government has decided that people on drugs will not have all the privilege to purchase or buy or possess guns. From the United States of America, from one continent to another, we go back to the continent Africa with Cameroon, starting with the Sun newspaper carrying as major caption this morning. The Sun newspaper on its Monday's edition is carrying as caption, 48 days to presidential polls. I am ready, well on track, just Honorable Joshua Osei. In an exclusive interview granted the Sun newspaper days after unveiling his political, economic and social program in a press conference in Yaoundé, Honorable Joshua Osei, the paper says, the candidate of the Social Democratic Front, SDF party, says he is ready because as he dives into the nitty-gritty of his program ahead of the upcoming election. Cameroon Insider looks at something different, still goes back to see the just past conference that took place in Yokohama, Japan. Cameroon Insider is headlining this morning, Cameroon, Japan for renewed engagement. We are talking about development and other benefits that can come from the conference that the Prime Minister, who represented the head of state, attended in that part of the world. From there, we move over to the Guardian Post newspaper this morning. The Guardian Post has decided to pay attention on something else. The Guardian Post is telling us this morning, the International Day for Remembrance of Slave Trade and the Abolition. Experts deem need to redevelop, preserve Bimbia slave trade site. While the Voice this morning comes to talk on its part. The Voice is carrying an editorial on its front page asking a question: if does the President Paul Biya now speak in tongues? That is a rhetoric question asked by the Voice newspaper, and details of this will be yours in our upcoming segment of the program just after the transition, so go nowhere.
Pan-African Media pour une Afrique souveraine et unie. Pan-African Media pour une Afrique souveraine et unie.
Welcome back, beautiful viewers, and thank you for your faithfulness to Pan-African Media once more. Today is Monday. We are delighted to have you on board. I'm not alone in the house. I have here the General President of RSCC, Tafanka Samuel, who is our guest for today, with whom we shall be diving into analytical part of the program. Tafanka, you're welcome.
Well, thank you, Madam Ebesin, and the televiewers that we have today, this weekend, and I thank you so much for taking your sacrificing your time to watch what we are going to tell you today. We have a lot that we are going to share with you, and what we've been having at our table is what we will dish to you. And I think keep on watching, because at our table we have a lot. So keep on as you watch us this day.
So, Tafanka Samuel, we are just from the weekend, and today is Monday. How was your weekend like? You know, weekend is time when you take time to flex muscles a bit. How can you paint us a little picture of what your weekend looked like?
I think the election fever has already started, as the Northerners are getting out and hot. You know, Issa Chiroma was going to Maganga, and the DO came out with his vehicle and put on the road. And when I look, I think as if it is something that was prepared, because if the administrators are going out, those who are supposed to reinforce law and are going outlaws, it has a question sign. So when an administrator of that magnitude go out to put his vehicle to stop a caravan that was, we are in a political season, and stop that such a caravan of Issa Chiloma, it began to give some lot of doubt whether at all he did the administration before he was put to that level. And it was, I thank the militants of and the UNDP of Issa Chiloma, because they behave.
UNDP is for
the AN is ANDP. FS something, his party of Issa Chiloma, because the militants behaved so maturely. They took their time, you held the vehicle and put it by the side, and their caravan continued, of which if it was somewhere, you would have seen that there would have been tussle of war.
All right, so that is what caught your attention
Yes.
in the course of the week. And today's Monday, like we said, a lot has happened. Countries are going through different realities. In Cameroon, while you are in the election season with the election fever,
Yes.
in Nigeria we still have elections fever and election season, because they have started preparing for an election which will take place in 2027.
And that is very good.
In the Western world, we have other realities, but today on this side we shall be touching parts and moving from one to another, one of the papers to another. So I want us to start. We started with This Day newspaper from Nigeria. Maybe we'll just look. You see, it's a situation where a party is preparing for its convention, PDP, and apparently the opposition, people who are the opposition, are struggling to ignite fear, to say things are not going to happen the way, to say, must we always in Africa have such happenings?
You know, Africans, at times, people are derailed, because when they want to do politics, they don't study. They just think that politics is an open arena where you will come and enter and you start talking and making noise. If you have love for politics, I will advise that they should study, make some research, so that you can do politics with conscience, because when you do politics with conscience, you do it correctly. When you just get into politics because you've seen Mr. B or Mr. Peter or Mr. S is in politics, and when you come in, you will find yourself you will find that you have difficulties, a lot of difficulties. That's why Africans need to go beyond research, so that they can know that doing politics, it is not for your interest, it is for the interest of the citizens.
And it is an art. So
it is an art, yes. It is an art that should be
well
captured, should be well managed, should be managed with love, should be managed with a type of heart. That is, you go there to solve problems. Something that it is a place where they go to change their lives. No, when you are going there, you become a servant. Even a little person can call that this is what is happening. You have to come out and serve the community. But if you go there thinking that you are going to for luxuries, that is a lie.
And that is why those that instituted the study of political sciences were not fools.
Yes.
So people need to get themselves well educated about what they want to get into, how they want to go about it.
Exactly.
And respecting how it should be done. Because like you said, we don't just get up
one morning and get into politics, yes, because we want to do politics, and you drop into it, and finally you find that you become the problem and not the politics being the problem. And that is what we have in Cameroon, because many half-baked politicians are the one running the political arena of Cameroon, and the political bench has become so terrible, so tense, to such a way that those who know politics know that it is a game. Some people were laughing and saying that, why is it that when after Barrister Kerimona sold the president in the Constitutional Council, but after when they came out, they were greeting themselves? That is how mature politicians should do things.
They are not enemies.
They are not enemies.
They may have
the political line
ideas.
is not it's not where you come and create enmity and go with it in the quarter. So I told the people, no, that is what we want in Cameroon, and that is why what we are propagating for. That after politics, there is life continues, and we are a family.
All right. So we will leave Nigeria and we look at the Guardian newspaper from the United Kingdom, telling us this morning that 83% of Gaza war deaths as civilians. This report from Israel shows that 83% of people who die in Gaza and because of this war are civilians, not even the combatants. This is because of the same, with no concern when they go for attacks, they go with no concern for non-combatants. If you look at the situation like this, where it says a war situation, it's true that they say that when two elephants are fighting, it is a grass that suffers. What do you think this people can really do to ensure that when they are going, we cannot say there will be a war without collateral damages?
Yes.
We have combatants who lose their lives and civilians caught between. But how can these people, what can they really do to see that the number, this percentage, could be brought down a bit?
As for us at like we propagate for, advocate for alternatives of war, we will not first of all permit that people should go get into war. And when it comes already to war as it is happening now, it is advisable that they should have where they go attack, because when they attack at the wrong areas like the market, like maybe certain areas where people are populated, you see now that they are attacking by the civilians, and the civilians suffer most. In most wars around the world, the civilians suffer most. But if they are war zones, people that feel that are so powerful, they want to test their powers, let them get to a desert or in the hills or somewhere in the bushes or forest and begin to test their powers there. But when they are doing it in where civilians live, it becomes so destructive. That's why you see that the percentage of people that are dead comes from the civilians. They have nothing to protect themselves. They are not ready. They are not ready for anything. They are just civilians. But the fact that they are civilians, they are dying for living as civilians, and which is not advisable. The government should do everything possible to use alternatives of crisis or war to settle matters, because when it comes to the war, it is not the fighters that are dying, civilians are dying, and as you see the number rising, it may keep on going up again. And if the data, another company or another newspaper come and follow the data, or another NGO come and follow the data, you will see that it may rise again. So we are pleading Israel to see forward, that is to see the importance of humanity, because you don't give life, and when people have life and forcefully taken away, it causes pain. Even if the war finishes now, the scars, the pain stays, and it doesn't wipe away. People like when their person or one of them or one of theirs, their loved one dies, when he or she is called by God Almighty.
So, this type of situations mostly is when you see maybe combatants, maybe terrorists, maybe those they are attacking go and get in the middle of civilians. For instance, we catch Boko Haram, and in the chase of Boko Haram, they just get themselves into the market.
It was happening really when the attack was going on. We learned that some fighters went nearer to the hospital.
Yes.
And they were given an alert to leave that area, or else they will storm it. And finally, I think something was done which never gave us a good look. So, which meaning that if you are a fighter, there's no need for you to go again and be hiding among civilians. Show up that you are capable enough to go and do your fight, and leave civilians alone. Because when you come and be mingling around civilians now, you see the race. Yes, you put their lives at risk, and the rate of the percentage of death begin to rise every day.
All right, we want to believe that something is going to be done in that part. We are
and what should be done should be, people should value advocacy and alternatives to war, because this is something we have to put a lot of finances in it, and even create schools that we train people how to stop these things before time. Because when we allow things happen, yes, we should, as trained in any region, should have a school, an institution where they come and train people how to resolve crisis, how to resolve war, how to resolve problems. And if this is put on the table and well financed, all these things around the world will die a natural death.
All right, will die a natural death. The Independent is talking about caption migration UK, how the numbers really add up. You know, in the UK there is an upsurge of increase of asylum seekers, maybe boats that are entering, maybe that for the last year it is terrible. Like you have 111,000
Yes.
asylum seekers. You see, that's what the Independent is telling us. So when you have it this morning, people are complaining because when you are seeking asylum, there is a procedure, there is a to follow for you, maybe that to be accepted or to be refused, so they can send you back to your to your country. But now apparently there is overpopulation, and this process, it is being delayed, and some of the people are being lodged in hotels, some of the people, so people are decrying because there is a fear of an imminent unrest. How do you think this issue can be handled without maybe people being returned, without people? How can this government attend to this issue? Though we know that they know how to go about things, but it's delaying, so the contributions of everybody matters. Nobody knows.
It matters a lot, and I should first of all say that migrants don't just live for living sake. They live because the conditions of where they were is not good, and we should first of all handle that sector so that the number should be reduced, because if we handle and try to better the nations that the migrants are coming from, it will help that the number will reduce. And those who are already at the front are seeking asylum, this is where we have to talk about them. And we here are pleading that the officers concerned about the asylum matters or the asylum book documents should hasten up, because you know, when some keep waiting, maybe they are sick, they are this, they don't have the access to go to where they will take good medication or good health care, and when they keep on waiting like that, something can happen to them. So it is better that you do them this favor already, because they are already on ground, and see that they take their documents, give to the right office, right quarters, and let them be given the stay in UK, and find them some little things to be doing, because if they are doing something before coming to their quarters, it will be better. But before looking into it, I should also say their nations of origin they have a lot to contribute. They have a lot to see that why are people living. When you have a country or a nation, why you ask these questions yearly, people should be able to make accountability at the level of international level, at the level of national level, at the level of regional level, at the level of divisional and subdivisional, and even communities. They should be accountable of what they go throughout a year. And if they discover that people, they should create employment. You know, employment is one of the causes, and also farming. You know, where there is no food, nobody can live there, and if the area is barren, nobody can live there. And people, most of the things is that
now, if you
government
have war,
in Africa, yes, if you are
unrest,
a war, you see there is an unrest, and earthquakes, all those type of things, floods. You know, there are so many factors that lead to migration. And when it happens, it is the work of the government to always be accountable and make sure that they favor the citizens first. They look at things that favor the citizens, things that put the citizens at ease, because they are the ones taking charge. They took the oath to take care of the citizens, to make sure there is security, to make sure there is enough for everybody and not sections
for some people.
Yes.
All right, we'll look at US today. US today is telling us about this. US today says no guns for those on drugs. US today, no guns for those on drugs. So this is a decision like the government, the United States, have decided. There is an amendment where emphasis are being laid. People on drugs are not supposed to handle guns. They are not supposed to be sold guns. They are not supposed to hold. They are completely being deprived of this. Do you think this move can also transfer Can we also copy such? Can it work in our own scenarios? Or even in the US where they have said it, is it really going to work?
That's what I wanted to start from there, and you caught my attention.
All right.
Yes. In the US, as they are giving that no guns for drugs addicts or those who take drugs, how far are they sure? Do they keep someone where they say the guns, or doctors who will take care and do the diagnosis and see that this person is not using?
You see,
so it is just a wind blowing. It's a wind blowing statement. I can't accept that, because if someone wants a gun, if he is taking drugs, he can make a month without taking drugs, or send somebody to buy it for him. So the only thing is that advertising the sale of guns, it is not something that should be advertised. That is one thing that, because in the US they say you have a right to move with a gun if you are given the right by the government, but you see at times
even those who do not have,
they also misuse the gun as well, and we have been having cases like that in the US. And we to look at coming to talk about drugs, it is an overstatement again, because even those who are not using drugs and that have been given the right to use the guns, some are misusing it. So by saying this statement, it is just as if the newspaper wants
Can they treat that
sell.
as discrimination?
Yes.
Can it be treated as discrimination?
Not at all. There are things that if you have taken drugs or you've taken alcohol, you can't drive. You can't manipulate a machine. You can't walk
there are things you cannot do.
Things that you cannot touch. You can't go to where there is electricity, because if you touch those electricity, the circuit can get you away. So if you are a drug addict or you are taking drugs, there are things that you cannot do. Not to talk of selling you a gun, because if somebody makes something that twists your attention, you can gun him down.
Yeah, they always on
you
their
will
nerves.
gun him. You see. So the fact here is that this type of over technology and trying to develop human rights that is going exceeding, it is not good at all. Some principles should be put around selling guns. Guns should not just be sold as puff or any other thing that bananas around. No, the precautions should be taken, and the people should be put on study. That if you want, you first of all give
an
undertaking, and you deposit it. They take time, they follow you, you pass through some other chances or other tests, then they follow you up. Then when they see that you are capable of handling a gun, they can now sell you a gun. And it should be for protection. It should not be for just any type of use.
Yes, almost everybody that goes for a gun will say it's for protection. That's
but
why
at the tail end,
but at the end, you find them doing other things
exactly.
with the gun. The gun that's what you say you want to use for protection. Use it. Maybe you shoot your wife.
Yes.
Or you shoot your husband.
Yes.
Or,
and some use them at schools to threaten their teachers, to even gun them down.
Children,
and it is not good.
Children grab parents' guns and go.
That's
to school.
why I will, on that point, I will thank the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, who did everything well. That even the knife, to buy even a knife, you need an authorization.
How effective is that? Effective is that?
I think when the minister says something, it is left now for the authorities in place to reinforce it. He says he has already put it out. You see, then the authorities should reinforce it.
That's story for another day. That should be a story for another day.
Yes.
Okay, we are crossing over to Cameroon. We are quitting the US, and now we are in Cameroon with the Sun newspaper, which is telling us this morning about they're saying it's 48 days to presidential polls, which means in Cameroon we have 48 days to the 12th of October, which is the day citizens will be going to the polls to vote their candidate who will run them for the next 7 years. And here they presented us a candidate who is Honorable Joshua Osi, the candidate for the Social Democratic Front SDF party, who said something. I am ready and well on track. Honorable Joshua Osi, this in an interview he granted the Sun newspaper while he unveiled, he has unveiled his political, economic and social program in a press conference in Yaoundé. He is ready and he is on track. You are a Cameroonian who is very active you are keen to the media, you are keen to the happenings, you are keen to news, you are keen to what is Cameroon.
Yes.
When you look at Honorable Joshua Osi, can we say he is ready and on track from what you've seen so far, from what he's been doing?
My follow-up of what Osi Joshua has been doing, it shows that his readiness was since before this day.
Okay.
He's not new in the field.
Of course.
He has been in politics and he has been doing the follow-up, been a media, going to media, trying to tell the people what he has, the package for Cameroonians, and when if he's voted president, he said he would take some days to finish the crisis of the Northwest. He will take some days to do this, and he has given out his manifesto clearly to Cameroonians. So it is for Cameroonians now to know that they have a leader that is presented to them, his manifesto and his political program, and that is what political parties should do. It shows very well that if he is given the opportunity, and that he will do what he has put on the table, because he has unveiled everything. There's nothing as if he has put behind. And when I look at him, I know very well that if he is given the chance, Cameroon will have another new air. Because upon all when I see him talk and I see him do things, he wants to be pragmatic more, and that's why when he's talking, he doesn't shout. But Cameroonians like those politicians that shout. When as he explained, he's a gentleman. So when he talks,
he is angry,
you don't even know
when he talks. You don't have an idea that he is angry.
So his way of talking. When I was trying to talk with some guys out there, they said they like people. I said no. You look at the political program of a candidate. The shout are the emotional part of it, but what we want is the authenticity of what the candidate is having at hand. Then when you want to see that they shall hold we look at what he has, and what he has can attract him to be at the forefront of leading Cameroon.
So that was the Voice newspaper, and we are still Cameroon talking elections, upcoming elections. Following as what the Voice has said, manifestos are being unveiled, programs are being exposed and unveiled in public on what I will do, what this will do, what that will do. I still stand. I want to ask you, when you look at the Cameroonian opposition ahead of the October 12th presidential election in Cameroon, does the opposition really stand a chance when you observe and you look at them as at now?
I think what happened in the north with Issa Chiroma, it was more of adverts for the opposition. It is for them now to take the advantage. Yes, they should take the advantage and do something. But if they don't grab that advantage and do it now, therefore there's no chance. It is sure that if opposition political party is going somewhere, it is going there to reduce the vote. That is, it's going to gain the heart of the electorate. So, and also Joshua on the other side and other candidates, if they can see beyond and do something much better, I think they have the chances of winning this upcoming presidential election. I
saw the other young man. He should be the youngest of all.
Yes.
In Bamenda.
Yes, so he went in Bamenda. It was like he became the star.
Yes.
People were very happy to welcome him
like
there.
Some kind of the Messiah.
Yes, in a Messiah, that the Messiah, a liberator has come in town, and people were so happy to welcome him. They were moving. He was moving around freely. That if they snap and tell you that it is the Bamenda of running, nobody will accept.
It's around the Commercial Avenue area.
Yes, yes, nobody will accept. He moved around. I think met his people, met the electorate, talked to them, came back to the hall where he received people. I think it was a very nice moment, and it shows that there is evolution of democracy and politics in Cameroon, and that is what we want. We of the civil society want that it should be a place of meeting, dialoguing, and conversing with the people. It should not be that type of places where people go around to insult others. And no, we have long passed that era. And this era, we want people that will go out with their manifesto. You can say it many times as you can. It is your manifesto. You can repeat it and let it become even like a poem. and take it over and over again. It is no need going and talking something different. Go straight to the point. Tell the people what you are bringing for them to the table, and by repeating, some can even create a song from out of it. But if you are hiding, thinking that you will make lobby and come on the presidential seat, that is a lie. So by going around, as I saw the young man in Bamenda, I'm sure he must have got some people there that will do the campaign again for him and go to the field and go door to door, because in Cameroon, door to door campaign also matters a lot.
You see, with Professor Maurice Kamto being completely taken out from the race to stand as candidate, do you think the ruling CPDM party or the incumbent President Paul Biya still has somebody that shakes the feet of the ruling party on the ground?
Having somebody that shakes the feet
in the opposition,
yes,
among the 12,
among the opposition, I would say maybe it should be the coalition that is in quotes that is shaking the feet of the ruling CPDM party, political party. But as an independent, that is a single head political party, they need to make some ties to come around some things so that they can put down the incumbent. Because what I saw over the weekend, it shows that if the opposition can unite, I think the incumbent will become history soon.
All right. And do you see the opposition uniting at the way they are going? Do you see the opposition coming to a consensus?
They should bury the agreed. They should bury the agreed. That is what I can tell them. They should bury the agreed, because some are already doing something positive, but some are still holding to their own manifesto. Maybe they know why they are holding to it, and I see something that if something can twinkle their mind, we still have 48 days. 48 days is too much. It can even be one day too.
It can be a day too,
or some hours
but
too, or some minutes too.
They shouldn't take the population unawares.
That is it. So
if you bring it later, people have made up their minds to
exactly. The earlier they do it, the better. And so that people should also be aware of their ballot papers, because that is where the war again lies.
Yeah.
They have been fighting between the ballot papers. Some ballot papers look alike.
Yeah.
You see, they are confusive. So that is something we of the civil society, they are giving us work where we don't need to work again. So we have to shine light on it. At times maybe we'll be coming here with the ballot papers, all the 12. Yeah. We'll be bringing them here. We'll show that this one belongs to this one belongs to this one. So yes, we should really educate the public. If we don't do it well, there would be problem that day. You see, some we find themselves voting someone, another candidate of which they intended to vote, but a different one. So the ballot papers have not been treated well, because the colors, some colors look alike. Then some actions on the ballot papers, you see people taking hands like SDF. We knew of SDF in the past, but now there is another party, is that of Matumba.
Espoir Serge Matumba. But they should have refused. Normally they are not supposed to be something similar.
So you now see that things are the evolution of things, and things are changing. Confusion is in it. But even as the confusion is coming, what is good is that we of the civil society are pleading that the number of political parties were 80 something. Now that they have been streamlined to 12, we plead that they should move together and do their campaigns. It will be a new Cameroon that we are building. When they put a table like this, CPGM goes up, SDF comes, the Serge Matumba, UPC, UDC,
it's like metaphysics.
No, it builds.
It builds, but do you see that happening in this country?
We are pleading.
People will not allow pride, ego,
selfishness,
and all those
things.
It
is pride that may take them, but they should build, because there is a lot of division among the citizens.
There
is. Even within the party ranks of all these political parties, there are infighting. To stop this infighting and to stop the differences we have in Cameroon, we are of the civil society are pleading that they should make the caravan of campaigns. All the 12 political parties should move together. And they said today we are going to the north, today we are going to the south, today we are going to because like in the south, some political parties went there and they were blocked. But if it is a caravan of 12, No political party will be blocked
But
anyway.
is it normal that your political party, you go to visit an area and you are blocked from carrying out your activity? Is that supposed to happen?
It is not right. It is not right at all, because when administrators are there, they are serving the institutions of the republic. They should not be serving but personalities. When you turn to serve personalities, such mistakes always come and go, and people don't even make pretend as if they don't see. This time around, we have a free number that it is circulating, that if anything of the such happens, they should call. We are going to call them to be accountable of what of their deeds. Sometimes somewhere they have been doing it without taking the necessary measures, but this time around we are not going to leave any stone unturned, because sometimes when we shout and put more light on it and educate the public the need of having different political parties in your area, it is right. Because when somebody just come and say that this area belongs to me, when he maltreat you, you don't even know. And when there are two people in the field, or 3 or 4 or 5, 6, you see now it becomes competitive, and people, the most important things now go to the citizens. Yes, they treat the citizens fairly, rightly, and they treat them well, and their needs are given to them.
So it's like I was saying, it still sounds like metaphysics.
Yes,
because
but it sounds like metaphysics, but it can happen.
It can
happen, but we are pleading. It's a
suggestion,
and we are pleading. Yes, we are pleading that the campaign, the political parties should take into consideration. See, it can be it can also be done as reconciling the citizens of Cameroon. The killings around it, the things that are happening around, is because there are a lot of differences, even in the families.
Yeah.
By going like that, we will see that Cameroon is taking another new air, because this presidential election, we have been having elections, but this presidential election is quite different. No, it is not like any other. No, yeah. If somebody say it is like any other, no, therefore it's a lie. Because look, it is. Imagine if somebody wins and come in, therefore it's for after 43 years that they are beating President Paul Biya. But if the incumbent wins and come back, it will be another history. That at 93 years, President Paul Biya still won the opposition political parties in Cameroon. It will be a blow. It will be a shame to political parties.
The more reason why the opposition needs to step up.
Of course, the opposition needs to do something tangible, build a block, then and stem up.
Whosoever wins is going to be the president of Cameroon anyway.
Yes.
Cameroon Insider on its part is looking at the just ended meeting in Japan, where Cameroon and Japan have taken the resolve and engagement for Japan for renewed engagement. Here, you know that this meeting, usually this conference, is to see how they can help push the development of Africa, and the Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Jengute, attended the TCAT 9 and has come back with an enriching package, suggestions gotten from there. I would just want to say, do you think it's going to be different? This is the 9th TCAT summit. We've been attending summit. We know things have been done. They do things. If we say they are not doing anything, it means we are lying. You think, we are going to experience more, or those that will be entrusted with projects to carry on developmental projects, yes, are going to sit up to do things right? Because as we speak, apparently, when people are being given projects, when they win contracts to execute projects, exactly, they tend to play with such certain things.
Yes. As for projects, as you are saying, I think we have to shine light on it that the controlling committee should add some energy, because that is where the project starts. When it is not well followed up, the one managing the project, because maybe before he got the project he has spent this or that. That is one funny thing that is killing us here back home. And what we encourage projects to be well executed is this decentralization, that is federalism even. That is, if all is put into federal system of government, that each region or each people should control their resources and do their things, vote their governors, do things, I think you will see Cameroon become like somewhere,
that's
be a different level.
Effective decentralization.
Exactly. If it is effective and with autonomous, because they should not be given and holding the rope. That is why it has been for decades. It's decades that they gave decentralization, but it is not working. The resources are not there, but it is at a level that they are doing some little things. They are doing some little things already very well. Yes, one cannot refuse, but it happens that they should have the right that any decentralized collectivity can have the right to shoot even out of the nation and deal with their partners
directly, not government winning the things and bringing to give.
You've got me my word. So if that is done, you will see that communities, municipalities, they will grow and they will start booming. And when you said something concerning how our PM went to Japan, yes, and we took an engagement again. Japan has been doing a lot for Cameroon. There are schools here that they are built by the Japanese. Yes. There are many, and they are solid. They are up. You know, but some contract that were given to some Cameroonians that they built school after them, they have already fallen.
Wars have.
You see, so if Japan, our PM, Chief John Gute, the gentleman of this era that we know, went there. Therefore, his package that he has brought back is heavy, and when he will unveil it to us, we are going to be very happy. And I think he must have encouraged that those Japanese manufacturing companies, they should be installed here in Cameroon, because if they are installed here in Cameroon, I think the engineering nature of Cameroon will be lifted, because we will grow, so that our engineers that comes out from school, they will be doing the practical and pragmatic work. They should not be doing theory any longer, and that one will take us to another level of life.
All right, so we'll revisit The Voice, which is the last newspaper and almost the last thing we shall be talking about this morning. The Voice is asking the question if, on an editorial, asking the question if President Paul Biya now speaks in tongues. You know, when I was going through the story, they talk about the days of the old in the Bible, yes, where Holy Spirit descended and people spoke in tongues. You know, tongues is something that under normal circumstances, when you speak in tongues, there should be somebody to understand what you're saying and translate it to the others.
Exactly.
Normally, it's not like today where speaking in tongues is just everybody speaks in tongues. It's a spiritual gift that not everybody possesses. So we're talking here, asking if President Paul Biya now speaks in tongues, because we've had him represented here, represented that, talking to the people come to visit you, they send somebody speaking in tongues. Do you really think President Paul Biya,
I think
communicado nature has been termed as speaking in tongues?
President Paul Biya at his age with delegates powers. Yes, and if the delegating powers has become speaking in tongues, I will say yes. But if it is not speaking in tongues, I will say no. So it is a myth. It is a myth. So saying that President Paul Biya speaks in tongues is a myth, which it cannot be accepted here. You know, as his age doesn't permit him to go out things or stay out for long. You know, he's indoors, then trying to rest and think about the upcoming elections, which is his priority at the moment, because you know, he wants to do transition, go up, come down. Whether if they win him, yes, but if they doesn't win him, okay, he comes up. Maybe he is preparing also that by coming down as the president of the CPGM, he may first of all put somebody as CPGM president. We knew the other day the councillor of Monatili tried to challenge him, you know, but they told him the president on seat of the CPGM is the president is the natural president. So that is the way we heard the word natural, that when you remain, you are the president, even if there are you are natural president, even if there are how many presidential elections, you are the one going in. So he should start thinking of bringing in the president for CPGM first. Even if at a certain moment he can be the father of the nation as he is now, he can think of putting another president or like that, but let him win first before thinking of that, because the elections are still ahead of us. So talking about speaking in tongues, and really when someone is of age, God speaks to you.
Yeah.
That one is natural. Because we have, when I go, I look at my grandparents back home when they were still alive, when they said at times, they say, they saw this. When we come, they'll begin to tell us stories that when he slept in the night, he will be calling some old names, some ancestors that they visited him. You know, that he will say something that they should go and do this. And when you don't do it, you see the consequences come. So at a certain age, God even talked to such people. That is, they use but now wisdom to rule their people. They use wisdom, they rule their people. They don't use more energy again. They use but that wisdom that is given from the Almighty Father. So if at all we are Cameroonians are blessed that God is using the wisdom Paul Biya, good and fine. But if it is not, but in reality, we will see that he is good to leave a legacy that will be positive for Cameroonians, because we of the civil society will look much at the transition and more of the community politics that will be taking place in 2026, where municipal and legislative elections shall be taking place. For us, we want the strong institutions, because when the institutions of the republic are strong
and vibrant,
and vibrant, you will see that even if they put any who is as the president, the institutions shall be moving and everything shall be well. And that's why you see some institutions, when they are strong, when the president is not even there, they don't feel his absence. But the secretariat, the institutions are working, everything is in order, there's no corruption, there's no stealing, there's not this. You see, there's people are well taken care of, they are treated. People, there is some sort of love and giving and take and sharing. And there is one funny thing, where in a nation that there is underemployment, they feel bad, and where they cannot put the food on the table, that is where you see everybody is looking at the presidency. If this country was like this, that everybody was able to eat, and you are able to do this, pay school fees, do that, they would have taken, even if it remains there. You see now, when things are not moving.
Libya was like that with
yes,
Mohammed Gaddafi.
Good.
They sorted for too much and they betrayed him. Where
yes.
are they today?
So Libya lived such. But if Cameroon was having a good life, that Cameroonians were living very well, and they are reaching out to their needs, to their, even who he remains there, you know, they would have not worried, because I know Cameroonians like good life, they like what is good, and they do what is good. But when it comes to the fact that they don't feel at ease, you know, everybody is looking but at the top. You know, even if you are passing somewhere, something happen falls on your head, you will not look by the side, you will look back up. When you look at the top, you see who is there. That is why even today, even a little child of 5 years know that there is President Paul Biya. You see,
the child should know for 43
for
years.
43
a 5
years.
year old should know that there is President Paul Biya. He's been there for 43 years.
Yes, so you see that we really need to pray God and to seek the face of God, that even somebody wins, he should do the need. And even if the incumbent wins, he should leave us a legacy that that the presidential term of office in Cameroon should be 2. If you win once and the second one you get it again, that is all about you. Even if you are an angel, you do 2 terms.
Even if you are an angel, go back to heaven.
That is it. You go back to heaven and we take another one.
All right, so that's the wish of the Cameroonian.
2 terms of office in presidential role. It should be a very good legacy for Cameroon, and the institutions will become strong. And again, the judicial sector should be independent. These 2 things. That is, the judicial sector should be
like it is in the United States of America.
Yes, should be independent.
They are already there. They are
the 2 terms of office for any good president.
They check it and they say, no, you have nothing to say. You stay quiet, the president.
That is it.
Judiciary.
That when the judicial system of Cameroon shall be independent, you will feel people will feel the impact.
You say that independence coming anytime soon.
It is coming. That is what we are propagating, and now we are hitting on it. We are hitting on it and saying that it should happen.
Because it is a good thing.
It is a good thing. People see it as it is a good. We are propagating for it as at ISCC, Justice, Peace Building and Development Association, we build hope for the hopeless, and we are the voice of the voiceless. When we speak at times, people think that it is our position to tell the government, to tell the citizens where they go wrong also. Because where the citizens go wrong, we say, no, don't go like this. Stay within the realms of law, so that when the government come and shake you from there, we shall not talk on your behalf. When there's something that you people want us to share with the government, we also share with the government, so that we are balancing. Yes, we are between, then trying to balance and see that the distance that is between the citizens and the governing powers, they should be coming closer to a certain level that they understand themselves, and the necessary that they want should be done. Like I'm talking of the judicial system. We have poor judicial system in Cameroon, very poor. You will, when they say justice, that is take time. It's justice delayed. It's just justice denied. It is what is happening.
One parliamentarian said justice once denied is a crime twice committed.
Yeah. So it is what is happening. We don't want that to be happening at this 21st century. When you go, you see fights upon fights. What we are tired of such things. We should come out of that box and do the reality, serve people. That is why you see a lot of atrocity outside. The killings outside. Because when somebody goes and report a case and it favors someone who comes and paid money, you see, when justice becomes that paying and changing files, it is painful. It's painful. We want real justice. If something, you are a rich man, or who are you, equity before the law.
All right. I was in a taxi the other day and somebody said something. I just sat quiet and I was listening. They were talking elections. You know, the air there is hot and people are talking elections and politics everywhere. And a lady was like, she doesn't give a damn. She does not care if there's elections in Cameroon or not. She does not want somebody to come and be worse than President Paul Biya. She does not want somebody that will come and say they reduce salary, they do this. That better the devil they know should remain. Do you think that kind of mentality of a Cameroonian youth is something that will steam Cameroon towards the change that they need?
You know, Cameroonians have one funny thing, because the people, some of them don't socialize. And when you meet them in a taxi, that person has never been somewhere to know how people are suffering. He has never gone out of town, go to suburbs to see what people are going through, see the nature of roads, to see the nature of this. They have never seen. So when it comes, that mentality comes from a youth. Even President Paul Biya once said, people will pass away, but Cameroon will remain. Which means, as he is on seat, he knows very well that one day he will leave, and the Cameroon will remain. Is that the type of Cameroon we want to remain with? We should have a focus that, and be able that even when tomorrow President Paul Biya will not be there, other Cameroonians should lead. And we will even pray that people should challenge him on this 12th October tomorrow, so that he should sit and see another person governing Cameroon, and try to see the differences as well. It is not as if we see the differences and make sure things move well, but we are just giving that the fact that the legacy that the President Paul Biya wants to leave, while we are praying and know that after he's the wise person in Africa of democracy, the wise man of the era, the wise man in Cameroon that brought democracy. You know, there's one thing that people don't know that President Paul Biya has done that is good. You know, this free liberty of expression, this freeness of expression, and the expression is not totally free as people take.
Thank God you know about
it. It's not free as they take. Expression has limits. When you are talking, you should know that you respect the institutions, you respect the person, the people that
your utterances.
Yes,
it is normal.
Yes. So when you live within some rules, and when you follow those rules and you are expressing yourself, everybody will welcome you. But let's respect the institutions, respect leaders, and also pray for them, no matter how it is. You know, at times some things happen for people to bounce back. But if you look at what Cameroon has as resources, you will thank President Paul Biya.
All right.
You will thank him.
We heard it.
Yes.
From you. So thank you. We have summarily exhausted our time for today, and Can you please give us your take-home message?
Yeah. My take-home message to Cameroonians is that campaigns are out, and we should open our doors, open our hearts, open our ears, open our intelligence, and use our intelligence, not going around to fighting over bread or fighting over food or drinks or white wine or anything of the sort, or blocking people from making their campaigns. No, we should really depend and focus on who to vote. And that is the most important thing. And make sure you have your time. We have only 48 days to go to the polls, and we have your time. Go up, look for your polling for your voters card, get it. And if you don't know it, get it, but you already know your polling station, make sure you have your identity card, because on that day your identity card is very important, that you will use it, and also you can also use it and vote. And when you vote, please, it is a civic education. It is your civic duty. And I want to tell the political parties that are going for the caravan that as they are lobbying, as they're telling us to vote them, they should also know that we are going to create an arena and platform of holding them accountable, because democracy doesn't end at voting, it exceeds and go beyond. And that beyond is what? Accountability. We are at this stage of life because we've not been doing accountability. Our elected bodies have not been showing example of accountability. But we want to come, we of the civil society, mostly at ISCC, Justice, Peace Building and Development Association, we see that with accountability, Cameroon would go further than what we have at hand, and people will know that it will reduce corruption, it will reduce many pains, and it will create employment, and it will create many chances of booming our economy. And because when there is no accountability, nothing. Accountability, there's professional accountability, there's elected bodies accountability, and there are societal, that is companies accountability, even personal accountability. But the accountability that I'm talking of here is the accountability of elected bodies. Each and every elected bodies, associations, stakeholders, studied people that have studied law, and traditional rulers have the right to come up to you, and you give the accountability.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching us this day.
Thank you, Tafonka, once more for being with us.
You're highly welcome.
I don't know if it's a cold morning or it's a fresh morning,
It's
ladies
so
and
fresh.
gentlemen. I want to say thank you for your faithfulness and your constant support. Thank you for your contributions. Together we form a tie to make the world a better place. I want to say thank you to the people at the technical bench for taking our time each day, rushing to come and put 1 and 2 together to bring you this program. Thank you for your faithfulness to Pan-African Media TV. Like you know, we broadcast live on Bouquet Creoline Canal 299. You can follow us. You watch every broadcast even via the Facebook or social media handles on Pan-African Media TV. We broadcast on YouTube at Pan-African Media TV. So you heard it from our guest for today, Tafanka Samuel, who is a civil society activist and a peace crusader, peace and justice crusader, who was with us this afternoon. That there is one thing he wishes for, they wish for that for the next president, no matter who wins, the mandate should be reduced to 4 years renewable ones. That even if you are an angel, you should go back to heaven when you must have made your 2 mandates. I want to believe that the change that Cameroonians, most of Cameroonians are clamoring for, we're going to see, watch as events unfold. We are just entering into campaigns. Campaigns are starting soon. People are unveiling their manifestos. We want to believe that we are going to give them listening ear as they visit various localities and communities to unfold their programs, to tell us what they have in store for us. So it is election season in Cameroon. The air is tense. Stay safe. Stay on the right side of the law. And of course, let's do our best and allow God to do the rest. Thank you once more for being faithful to Pan-African Media TV. Until I come your way next week, I've been your one and only Lady Frida Igbesin, and I say stay blessed.